Today we have a election that we are usually doing like the hero of the industry. And for me, guys, especially for me, like they're very special because for me it's a long story, and I was like a fan and in love with one of the artists they worked with. Yes, I was a fan of oh my god.
Panda Beer.
And that was the concert of my dream that I was not able to attend because of our war and so on. And how we discovered Cristiana and Lucas. They were doing the covers for the music albums for Panda Beer, and they were doing a lot of identities and a lot of funny and interesting and very cool thing, like very cool visuals for music artists and albums of music artists. And we're very grateful for them that they agreed to have a lecture with us and to talk about their work and their style and how do they do this and who they like to work with and so on. I hope all of you understand English. Yes, it's something you can ask. And also while we're listening to Cristiana and Lucas, you can think about your questions because it's a very nice opportunity. And these guys, they were giving last year, they were giving even the lecture of on Primavera Festival. So today we're really very lucky. So enjoy and let's start.
Thank you.
Thank you for
thank you.
Lovely introduction.
Yeah, thanks for the introduction and for also the opportunity for us to be here and to have this talk. And yeah, let's just go ahead, I guess.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So as Anna just said, I'm Cristiana, and
I'm Lucas.
Yeah, and we are Studio Sparks, and we are here to talk a little bit about our work. So basically, we are a creative studio we of illustration and animation, and our focus is on the music world. And we want to share a little bit with you about our process and how we started doing what we do. And we are going to begin to show you our show reel. First of all, we would like to talk how did we start it, because we came from different backgrounds. I came from illustration and graphic design, and Lucas came from motion design.
These are our younger selves. Oh, you just skip it.
Yeah, from our younger selves, I started doing illustration.
Yeah.
So I was doing illustration in very different ways. I did an illustration book. I was participating in some exhibitions. I work as painting like a wall on a co-work here in Porto, and making other collaborations with other artists. And Lucas was
I did a comic book, and I also did a short animation. That's like the poster of the animation. But these were like my pastime projects, because Chris was finishing studying at the time, and I was already working. So this was the work that my creative work that I was proud of doing. But at the same time, I was also doing a lot of boring job to get money and live. So this was the stuff that I was able to do on the side on my pastime. And I'm just saying that because the time that we met each other in 2020, I was getting really sick of the work that I was doing, and I was, since I am a creative person, I was really in need to express that more, and that's how we met. We met shortly before the pandemics, and then since we are both artists, our relationship also started exploring how could we work together. And so yeah, we did some illustration books, and we did some stuff like I started illustration and she finished some projects like that. But so we are kind of like starting to know each other through art and communicating through art and seeing how our styles could mix together. And then during the pandemic, we all went home, and like I said before, I was feeling a bit frustrated with my work at the time, and I saw that one of my favorite artists, Sonic Boom, he's a producer. He's best known to play in a band called Spaceman 3 in the late 80s, 90s, and he produced some albums for Panda Bear. And he lives here in Portugal. He lives in Sintra. But before I knew him personally, during the pandemic, I was with a lot of free time, and I saw that he was about to release his solo album. You can see the cover on the right. And I just reached out to him, and I told him that I could do some animations. I did actually some on my own just for him to see, and he liked the work that I did. He used this to promote the album on his Instagram. And yeah, so Chris was playing here some of those animations, and here after doing those small animations, we came to do a music video for one of the singles featuring Panda Bear. Actually, this is kind of like a duet with the both singing, and then we expanded that stuff. And yeah, so I should say that the artwork that you're going to see here and that you saw on the other slide is actually made by a designer called Marco Papiro. So my job here was only animating. I was just animating his elements. And then we made this music video, and this was our first Sparks work, even though we didn't even have that name at the time.
I'm going to put play. I don't know.
Yeah, so I won't play the whole thing here, but yeah, just for you to take a look. This was, like I said, we took his material, his vectors, and I animated in After Effects, and this was kind of like back and forth with the artist, with Pete Sonic Boom. And yeah, that's it. I think we can move on. So after that one was basically I did that stuff alone, and then at that time, like I said, me and Chris, we were starting to work together. And then there's another artist that was about to release an album called Cheval Sombre, produced by Sonic Boom. So that was the connection. And I invited Chris to join me, and this one was a totally different technique. It was hand draw animation, frame by frame animation. So we both work on this. I think we can
Yeah.
hit play. Yeah.
Well, it's hard living without you know. Well, it's hard. Well, it's hard living without you know. Well, it's hard.
Yeah, here we can say that that was our first official project together, even before we created Sparks.
And I think this like two works that we showed so far, they you can see that just by these two that we like to explore, that we like to work with different methods and techniques, and that's something that I think it's very part of the Sparks event today.
Guys, we have one question. How long how long did it take to make this music video?
I don't remember.
I think it
1 month.
Yeah, I think it was between 1 month, probably. We also did because it is a little hard to remember, because we did two music videos using the same static for two singles from the same album. But yeah, I would say that normally it takes around a month to do that.
It wasn't our full-time job during this month, but it was a 1 month project.
Yeah, it was still something that we were doing on the side. Yeah, thanks for the question.
Yes, yes, and the second comment is it was so calming.
Oh, calming. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we really want to capture the vibe of the music. Like I said, we did the other one is very colorful and using vector, and we knew from the start that that style won't fit with this one at all.
Because actually Cheval is a poet.
Yeah, he's a poet from New York. So we send him some sketches using different techniques, using different strokes, actually, like pencil, pen, a lot of stuff, and he really liked that scribble effect, like using pencil. So we did that. I must say that when I say pencil, is actually all done in on the iPad. It's just brushes. So we worked basically in Procreate to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to ask, is it difficult for you to find the idea of the project, and what inspires you?
I think it depends, because some artists already come to us with a specific idea, and other just say we have free all the freedom you want. So we start like analyzing the song, reading the lyrics. We go to search for the previous artworks, and we always ask the artist to send us like a mood board, even if he doesn't have an idea. So we say like, what were you thinking about when you wrote this song? Just like you can send like a color, a photograph, something. So we always start with something, even if it's just a little something.
Yeah, I would say that it comes a lot from the music, like listen to the music, like Chris said, reading the lyrics, it helps a lot, and getting in the mood of the track. and also other thing that is very important for us, I don't know, maybe we are supposed to talk more ahead on the talk, but like you can see behind us, we have a bunch of books and illustration books and comic books, and we think that being surrounded by that, it's super, it helps a lot on that topic on inspiration. Like there's a lot of projects that when we are starting, when we are like doing the first sketches, it's normal for us to like get some books from there and start looking for references. So I'm not only saying books, can be on the internet, putting together like on Pinterest or something like that, but I think that being surrounded by art in general, it helps a lot for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I think after the videos from Cheval, we both really liked it, what we did there. We really like it to work for music, so we just started to search for people that would like to work with us. So Lucas started to search for bands and musicians, and I started to do the same. And basically we were working with our names, and that's when we just thought about putting everything together and create Sparks.
Yeah, I remember like when that Sonic Boom video was released. After that, I felt like, oh, that's something that I really want to keep doing. I want to do more of that again. So we really like this field because it gives a lot of freedom for us in like Chris said, in some projects more than others, and yeah, it allows us to experiment a lot with language and with techniques, and that's something that we went ahead and kept exploring. Like you can see in this slide, we have things from different styles and different like methods, like I say. Do you want to comment on here?
Yeah, it's a little bit about where you ask it, like how do we start and how do we know how to start, and I think it's a little about to feel the song and how this song can be represented. So that's how we started to explore different techniques, because we thought that a 3D doesn't make sense with Cheval, and for Sonic Boom, frame by frame animation maybe doesn't make sense. So I think we started to meet different artists and different bands, and all of them wanted different things for their music, and that helped us to explore different techniques. And
yeah, like you can see here, we have things in 3D, we have things in 2D, we have some collages, we have some distorted VHS effects. So that's something that, like Chris said, I think even though we have that desire of experimenting, that thing needs to come from the music instead of like being just us wanting to use the song as a way to explore that. I think the song really needs to tell us that it needs that aspect, and so I think our work is really serving the music, and also because I think it's I see as when an artist sends us his track, he's sharing with us something that he normally worked for a long time, and that he cares a lot, and that he put a lot of passion and love. So it's something very delicate that they are sharing it with us, and we need to embrace that with the same importance, and try our best to meet his vision, or to create something. If he doesn't have much of idea. To me, it's something that that can dress the song, well, I guess.
So in this part, we would like to talk a little bit more deep about some projects that we have been doing. And the first project I'm going to talk about is the live visuals we did for an artist called Alfie Templeman. I think this was our first experience for live visuals, because before that we only have been doing music videos and
social media
and design stuff. So in this case, his art director reached out to us and he said that Alfie had a show in London at the Alternate. It's a venue there, and this happened last November. So and talking a little bit about the time of the project, we had less than a month sorry to make the whole project, and they came with this schedule for us to organize all the thing. So we had to do animations for I think it was 22 songs.
Yeah, around that.
Yeah, around that for the whole concert. And here we can say that the red ones means that they wanted more than one animation to put during the song, and the green ones just one animation, a more simple animation. So we had to make like 2 or 3 deliveries per week during this month.
Yeah, like you can see,
the final.
you can see here in this table like the dates. So we are supposed to deliver. I think like you can see there on the 10, we should supposed to deliver 3, and then on 13 more 4, and then on the middle there you can see that they were all red. So it's a bunch of visuals on that week. So it was a pretty hardcore job for us.
Yeah, and in this case, his art director came to us with a mood board with some of works that he saw that we done. So he had already a specific image in mind that he would like us to make. We made this video about the process that we would like to show.
Today let's talk about our live visuals for Alfie Templeman. We were invited to make the live visuals for Alfie Templeman's show in London at the Alternate in November. This project was under the creative direction of Drinkwater Studio. To start the process, we created a mood board for each song, using keywords provided by the artists. For the song Everybody's Gonna Love Somebody, we aimed to recreate the character from the official music video, incorporating that scenario into the live visuals for the performance. We threw everything in vector and animated the drawings, creating distinct loops for the live visuals. It was a really fun project for us, and I hope you like it so much as we did.
So basically we started, as I said in the video, having in mind those words that the art director gave us, and they said like, we want something groovy, funny, colorful, and keep the 80s and 90s in mind. So we started to making a mood board for each song, because we did different visuals for each song, and we started putting different words for each song too. So this helped me to make different illustrations for each song. So this is some of the sketches. We did the first sketches in vector, because basically we can say that I did all the illustrations in vector, and then Lucas animated all of them on After Effects.
Yeah, and then I don't know if you're about to comment, but I remember that the idea, like you can see here, there's like this silhouette of a neighborhood, and that's something that the art director asked us to include, something that would unite all the visuals, so they all have some silhouette. Sometimes the houses go to the left and reveal another scenario. So that was something that we use it to create kind of like a narrative to the whole gig.
Yeah, and also because it was an element on the artwork.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
something that they created for the record.
Yeah, so basically the final composition was something like this. This is two examples for two different songs.
Also, I should add that the show, like Chris said, was on a new space in London, and they had massive, like gigantic screens there. So these files we had to deliver them with high resolution, and we have to work during the day, and then let the computer render this stuff during the night, because it was some heavy files. And here you can
Yeah.
see.
It's really cool, and Nastya also wrote this is amazing. Yeah, Nastya, I agree, this is amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But I think I don't know if should we talk about the day there, the experience there?
If you want to.
Yeah, I think it's good to tell the story, because they invited us just to do the visuals that we show you, but then we for coincidence we were planned to be in London at the same time, so they invited us to the show, but the idea was just for us to go and see what we did during the show. But when we arrived in London, they called us and they told us they were a bit in panic mode, because the guy that was supposed to handle the screening, he were not able at that day. And also the musician, he changed the track list for the set list. So that idea that I told you before of a narrative and the songs being connected one with each other, that all went out of the window. So he asked us if we could go there and help them, because we were the only people that knew the visuals, that knew what they were and for what tracks they were, and we were the only ones that knew the songs, because we've listened to this nonstop since we've been working. So we are the only ones that could kind of direct that live. So we had to go there and to help the person that was responsible to more to the
to put the visuals
live. To work on the like machine, I guess, to play the screen. So we kind of both had to use headphones and kind of saying to him during the jig, oh, change to the other visual. So we kind of like did that live director job.
It was like our first experience on that.
Yeah, and didn't have any experience of doing that, so it was a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, and then I have here a video during the show with another
during the night.
Yeah, visual.
Oh, so the next project is one that we did this year for Steve Manson. He is mostly known for being a singer for the band the Beta Band, but he now has his career and he is about to release this album called Brothers and Sister. And we kind of, since we worked with Sonic Boom and later on with Panda Bear, we started to forming a relationship with their label called Domino Records. So they approached us to do a visualizer for this, for one of the tracks for this album. And when they say visualizer, it's kind of like they're asking for a simpler music video, like something just to illustrate the song while it plays, like a loop. But for us, we like to, I don't know how to say, but we like to do our best. And so when they ask for a visualizer, we do something that is kind of like a music video. We put all the efforts. And Chris, she used here one of her references for this work, right?
Yeah, we didn't talk about the song because this song and all the album, all of this album from Steve Mason, he wanted to like make people think about the diversity, people, community.
It was about a lot about immigration and about England colonialism, and yeah, like Chris said, diversity. And he invited a musician from Pakistan. So that's some of the topics that we wanted to explore.
Yeah, he told us that he wanted to represent people, but at the same time he said, be careful about the way you represent people and the diversity that I want to share. So we thought about those college of Matisse where he plays with paper and with forms, and he represents people in different shapes, and we can't see if it's a man, if it's a woman, where are they from, and at the same time we talked that we wanted to use mixed media also to represent the diversity that the song has on this symbolism. So we started with this reference of Matisse, and at the same time we wanted to use a lot of patterns on the music video.
Yeah, I think we wanted to be very rich in elements and in colors and shapes, like Chris was saying.
Yeah, so we started to make some studies for patterns that we could use, and some studies about shapes that we could use to represent people.
Yeah, and like Chris said, to explore, to represent the multiculturalism and the diversity, we wanted to use more than one technique. So Chris did those drownings, and we also did some handmade, some hand draw frame by frame animations like this one, and we also used some collages. Can you go? Yeah, these are also some frame by frame ones with people. And we also wanted to use a very saturated and very rich color scheme. And since they wanted to include the lyrics of the song, we were thinking about a font typeface that uses different elements from different alphabets. And we noticed that that's something that Steve, I guess he was already thinking about that, because he used a similar typeface on his material, like you can see here. So we asked them for that font. It was actually not a font, but some vectors. So we had to recreate some of the letters but yeah, we think that it matched well with the whole style that we are creating. Here's a preview of that video.
I am people, you are people, they are people, we are people. I don't know who we are. I am people, you are people, they are people, we are people. I don't know who we are.
And also this year we work on this project for Shirley Collins for our new album Archangel Hill, and we did 3 music videos for her, also for the same label as Steve Mason for Domino Records. Shirley, she already has like a specific language. We can say that she's this is already the full video.
I'll let it play while
Yeah.
you know.
She has already a specific language. She lives in, can you remember?
She lives
On
on
the
the
countryside,
countryside, yeah, in England.
In England. And the artwork from the album, it's very about nature, about a country house, and she's a folk singer. So we thought, and we thought about that for her, we could use and draw animation, and we wanted the 3 videos to make sense with each other, because they are both from the same album. So we want to create a narrative for all of them. So we use it and draw for the 3 videos, but with the specific difference between them. For example, on this one, it's about a tornado, and the song, it's about the before and after the tornado, and we use static drawings with some animation, and the tornado is made in 3D, and the music, it's called High and Away.
High and away, tell me the tricks a tornado can play. High and away, tell me the tricks a tornado can play. Pick up my house and hurl it a distance, dump it back down and me on.
So yeah, we wanted to create these 3 videos using kind of the same style, but using different narratives for each of them. So this, like Chris said, is it's kind of like illustrating her lyrics and you know, telling the story that she's telling on the track, and then this is the mood board of the next one. The next one, we wanted to use a different type of narrative. So this one is about a character, call it Sally.
Yeah, it's like the same style, but different narrative. Because on the last one, we didn't have a character. And on this one, since in the lyrics, we have a character and Shirley says the name of the character, we wanted to incorporate that. So basically it's about character, Sally, and the things that she sees. So basically the video, it's about her and her point of view. This is like the previous storyboard that we sent for improvement.
Do you make storyboard for every project and to approve it with singer and with others?
Sometimes we do more like a mood board and some sketches, because it depends of the type of music video. Like we do some that are more like abstract, just like some, you know, some effects. So that type of video doesn't kind of need a mood board. It needs more like something showing the style that we are going to use. But when they are more like some stories, like in these ones, I think it's helpful, and yeah, it's something important to do when they are telling a story.
Yeah, we don't always do a storyboard, but always a mood board. I think that's
Yeah,
what
for
you
sure.
mean.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Oh, Sally, my dear, it's you I'd be kissing. Oh, Sally, my dear, it's you I'd be kissing. She smiled and
Just like to comment that for me, in the creative process of videos, normally it's very important, all this stuff that's going around the main drowning. You know, for me, it's very important to create kind of like the world where the video is going to take part. So I like in the creation of this, I remember Chris already doing the characters, you know, the main animation, and I was, you know, trying to find the right style to put them. So that's kind of a way that we sometimes work. I think that is nice to not only have that thing in the middle, but also have you know, kind of like a whole aesthetic surrounding.
Yeah, because in this case,
No, let it play.
we had 3 videos and we want them to connect. So we had to create like a visual connection between them. So I think these things that Lucas is talking about were important, like to have a connection.
Okay, I'll go move to the next one, and this it was her last single. It's about a boat, yeah, a traveling boat, and we thought about this one having kind of like a split screen, having at the bottom the entire video being this journey of the ship, and on the, you know, on the top we have things illustrating the lyrics, kind of telling the story. So that was the storyboard that we sent to her. I think the feedback that she gave us for this one, it was very important for her that the things was illustrating a certain time, a certain period in time, you know, because it's more like a note.
It's at a specific quote.
Yeah, a specific period.
19th century, I guess.
So, and I think the next one is the video.
Fare thee well, my dearest dear, fare thee well, adieu, for I must go to sea for the sake of you. Love, bear a patient heart, for you must bear the smart, since you and I must part, my turtle dove. You'll have silver and bright gold, houses and land. What more can you desire, love? Don't complain. And jewels to your hand, and maids at your command.
So in terms of like work, like the work that we put on this, it was kind of like doing 2 music videos, because, you know, we have these 2 narratives. So there's a lot of animation work on the things that are in the middle, and we have the entire, you know, saga of the ship in the background. And here we also have a small making of that we did for Instagram about this.
had the pleasure of illustrating and animating for 3 different songs from Shirley Collins' new album, Archangel Hill.
Reading Shirley's lyrics is like reading the pages of a romance novel, and we wanted to evoke the same sensation with the illustrations they created.
We thought about using a different narrative for each video.
For High and Away, we focus on multiple scenes and ambience where the tornado appears.
For Hairs of the Mountain, we have a dialogue between the main character and the things she sees to reflect her point of view.
And for Far 3 Well My Dear's Dear, we have the journey of the traveling ship in the background and other memories in the foreground.
We used multiple techniques to achieve this, including hand-drawn animation, compositing, and 3D, but always trying to preserve the same style and a handmade feel.
Shirley's lyrics and music were super inspiring to us, and it was great to be part of this journey.
And I think another project that we want to talk here is the one that we did for Panda Bear and Sonic Boom. It's a huge project that we're still working on this today, actually. And it's something that we started kind of like almost a year before the release of the album, when Pete Sonic Boom shared with us that he was doing this work with Panda Bear, also something created during the quarantine. They worked together. They used some old samples from the 60s as a base to create his music, and he wanted to do something very playful, like they were like two guys like playing together
during the quarantine.
yeah, and he loves a lot of the 60s design style, so some of these colors. This artwork was also created by Marco Papiro, who did the Sonic Boom album, and he shared this with us, and we started creating some stuff. This is a very early artworks. He wanted to use this type of font at the beginning, and we were trying to find out the first track on the album starts with Panda Bear singing about Coca-Cola. So I was thinking about Coca-Cola Red a lot, so I was playing with that first, and then we found this typeface, and we started experimenting with it, turning into 3D, turning kind of like in balloons, and this was all experimenting. And then we started doing something with physics, like this. I don't know if it's animated, but you can see like the ball going on, and this was something that was, maybe it was to be used on social media, or something to help promote the album. And then inspired by these kids toys and using those round letters, we started creating these loops to use it on social media too, using also the colors from the artwork.
It's animated on that.
Oh, they are animated here, so just something for them to use to tease the release of the album with some track playing on the background. And then yeah, like I said, this is a big project, because we did those works at the start, and then they released an instrumental version of the album, and we used that darker artwork on the bottom, and then they wanted to do a live streaming, and we did this glowed version in the middle, and we had to explore that identity to create posters for the tour. And now they are releasing a dubstep version next Friday. So we are also animating stuff for that. So yeah, something that it was cool to have this artwork and to be able to play a lot with that. And aside from the things that we did for social media, Pete also invited us to direct one music video for the track called Whirlpool. And the concept and the idea, it came from him. He wanted to have this translucent skeleton underwater with some mermaids or some like strange creatures around. And then we put together this storyboard, and I did some sketching of how the character could look like. And here is also a quickly storyboard that we put together. The final video turned out to be a little different from this, but like you can see here, the idea was to have this character kind of drowning, and then there's like these female characters that go and push him even further, and then there's the whirlpool from the title, and then the climax of the music video, the whirlpool starts to hit him, and it turns into more like a colorful music video. And then so I'm going back because we did this once, and we didn't have an ending, and I started working on the video already. And sorry,
I just like wanted to add that it was really cool, and I like the idea, and you used with these tracks for children, because my kids she loves this track, and she likes to play with her cars, and it's really it's really great idea. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, so we show him this, and we didn't have an ending for the music video. And then I think he asked me, so how are you planning to end? And I had an idea, but I was not sure if, because since the concept it came from him, I was not sure if he was going to like the idea. So I did this quickly sketch long after with the ending. And since all the promotion material and the other music videos always have this small sphere, like you saw on the other loops, the idea was that this character will in the end kind of like explode and turn into one of this sphere, and then it will go under the ocean. And then here we have some behind the scenes modeling stuff with the skeleton, the glowing. It actually is not skeleton, is the vein system, glowing. And the character, it's kind of a lot of layers, because we also wanted to create this effect of light, underwater light. And then here we have some modeling of the female characters, and here of the whirlpool itself. And here is the music video. Yeah. Yeah, I should say that this project in particular, because you asked about time before, this one took a lot of months of work, since it's a 3D and it's a bit more complicated, and there's a lot of back and forth with him. And then when they were to release the instrumental version, they asked us for a visualizer, also like a simpler music video, and we didn't have much time to do this, and
that's what I was gonna say.
yeah, this one it was made kind of like almost in a week, I would say. And the idea that I pitched him was to use this scenario. I remember his artwork from Pavement, and they used this they kind of like let's say like trashed a little bit this artwork for a jazz, or I don't know what type of style these guys are. And I really like this environment, this clean red background with those keys, and I thought that we could create a scene like that. And here it is, the kind of like the world that we put together with this instrumental version. And oops, for this entire video, I'm gonna go back here. So this entire video, it's made with the same scene rendered 2 times with different colors. And then in the editing, they are going like back and forth between one and another. So they are kind of flickering all the time. Like here is one color, here's one color. It's always changing. It's the same scene, but just with the colors alterated, not only on the background, but everywhere in the 3D models too. And then we also did some posters for it. Do you want to comment on this?
Yeah, we start doing different posters for different events, like for concerts, for tour, and even for the release party and for the streaming that we also manage the official streaming for the album. They ask us for making a poster to make a giveaway for the fan, and even today we make posters for other things that they have been doing. And in the posters we try to include those 3D that we have been incorporating on the identity, and always playing with the different colors of this project, but always trying to create different things around it.
Yeah, and I think that balloon poster, that's how we kind of met the guys here from Kama. This was printed and plastered around Lisbon to promote the I think it was the listening party in Lisbon.
Yeah, actually I have a making of.
Oh yeah, we
for
have
this
a little.
one.
Yeah.
You took it out, but you can put it back. You took it out, but you can put it back again. You took a swig and then you take a crack. You're running quick, but you're running off.
And also we started making the merch when they started the tours, and they asked us for making a t-shirt, design for t-shirts and design for the rolling papers. And we have here the first mock-ups for both of them, and then the picture, a photo of the rolling papers.
Yeah. And yeah, this was recently they did a screening of the album in New York, and they asked us for us to do some visualizer so they could use to scream the album, and also some posters to promote there in the theater. This is the only picture that we have. So, yeah, and in conclusion, after talking a lot about the work that we do, I think we also want to talk about Sparks itself and what represent for us, and the surroundings that we are like exploring more now and creating. I think that like we said before, it's very important for us to get a lot of inspirations, like via books or via other artists, and even the way that we work with our clients, we treat them in a more like the more friendly way possible. We treat them as friends. We became friends of a lot of the bands and musicians that we work together, and we think that's like what I was telling before. This is kind of a work that depends of them and us. It's something. It is a collaborative work. We see as that way, and we think that what we are doing here, in a way, it's kind of more than just the studio. So we started doing other things. We create a podcast that we want to interview and talk with artists from all types of fields, like not only musicians, but also designers or illustrators, or even, somebody putting together a festival. Everybody, we want to talk with everybody. And we have already an episode that we put on our YouTube channel, and we are interviewing even people that are not it's not just people that we work together. We are talking with people that inspire us. So I think, of course, that doing that, it also works as a promotion for us. It's also something that we are posting on our social media, and it's helping us. But that's not the main objective. That's secondary. It will help us, but that's not the thing that we are doing. We are doing because we want to have these conversations, to have inspirations for them, and to also help to promote their work, and for the people that are following us to see their work. So like I'm in short, the idea is to create kind of like a community around the stuff that we do. And other things that we did is to create, like I said, we have a YouTube channel, and we are putting all these videos that we show here, that were more about like behind the scenes making off. We are putting that there because that's also something important for us, because I learned a lot watching tutorials and watching other people doing their work. It's something that I'm very fascinated with, creative process and how people do their stuff. So we wanted to share that too, and we are working on more videos talking about the projects. We also have a playlist. The playlist is something that we started doing by ourselves. We use it to highlight new and independent artists, also to promote their work, and also to create a network with them. And now we decided, a little because we don't have much time, and also to help them to expand the genre, so it's not just things from our taste. We now offer bands or musicians to curate the playlist. So each month we select an artist or a band, and they do the playlist, and they include one of their tracks. And so the idea is to, this is kind of like a way to grow this community in a way. And the case studies, it's like some videos that we are doing to go more in deep in a process of on one project. And you can skip next. And we also have presentations like the one that we did in Primavera Pro. We did some here in Porto, and we are doing this one now for you. And that's also something that we like to do, to get to know more people, like, you know, like you guys here, and for them to know our work. But most, like I was saying, the main goal is not uh, to promote ourselves. The idea is to share knowledge and to learn more, and for people to maybe learn with us with how we do. So we see all of this kind of like in an ecosystem, kind of like I say, in a way, a community of projects. And that's how we are seeing the studio today. It's actually more than the studio. We see all these things connected, because like I say, an artist from our playlist could we could interview them for the podcast, and then we can do maybe a project with them, and we can show the making of that project. And you know, everything is kind of connected.
Already happened. Artists that we worked together collaborated with each other. Like one made a remix for the other, and they met each other because of us. So it's like this kind of community concept that we try to create.
Yeah, that's particularly that example is something that I'm very proud when two artists they connect, and they get to know each other because of us, and they create, it's, you know, a music because of this. And it also happens of an artist like the Cheval Sombre one that we show at the beginning. An artist see that video, and they talk to us to do something similar. And then a third artist saw the second one, and he wants us to do something similar with that. And then we normally, you know, we will help them to, if they ask for the to contact of each other, we help them to know one another, so they can, you know, in short, I think it's important not only to receive the work from musicians, but to also help them you know, promote their music, help them uh, to play their songs. With the podcast, we had a debate early on about in what platform we were about to use, because we saw that Spotify pays much less than other platforms for musicians. So but at the same time, we didn't want to exclude Spotify, because a lot of people have Spotify. So we decided to do the playlist now in Spotify and also in Apple Music, that pay the artists more. So that's something that interests us too, not only on our work, but the work of the musician. So yeah, that's you know, we wanted to end the presentation with that, because I think that not only in our area, not only on our studio, but I think that seeing your workspace and the people that work with you and clients and in general, I think it's good to have that approach, right?
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Yeah.
We want to end asking if someone wants to ask anything.
No, yeah.
Yes, I wanted to ask how do you find projects, but you have already answered this, and this is community. This community, it works really cool in all the processes. It's amazing. Guys, maybe you have questions. Maybe you want to ask something.
Yeah, I'm
to
sure.
share your emotions.
I'm sure there's a lot of creative people around here.
If I may jump in, thank you for the great. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you for a very inspiring and great presentation featuring your project, your cooperation with artists. I have a kind of personal question. Where do you find the inspiration for your great projects, animations, visualization? Maybe some online resources, movies, I don't know, books, magazines, so on. Can you share, please? Thanks.
Do you wanna?
Mm, I don't. I think all of the projects are different, so I think we are going to find inspiration in different places. It depends of the project. As Lucas said, we try to have a lot of books, of different books. So when we receive a new project, uh, we just try to um, see the books that we have and go to Behance. It's simple things, not
I'll,
to
I'll,
Pinterest, not so much.
Yeah, I would say maybe not a so helpful of an answer, but I would say that when what happens with me, it's when I'm focused on, like, let's say the artist send us a track and I listen to the track, and then that thing is in my head. The things around us kind of like they glue as inspiration. I remember when we are doing one that it had a character running from a big hand we wanted to do. And then we went to the supermarket, and on the vegetable, like on the freeze session, there was I don't know what type of vegetable it was, but the design on the plastic bag was of a hand. And
Yeah.
I told Chris, yeah, that hand will be perfect for the music video. So we took a photo of that vegetable package. So, but that happened because that thing was in my head, and I was looking for, like, fishing for inspiration. So that's kind of something that happened. Maybe I'm not sure if it's especially to me, or it happens with everybody, but yeah, I think that, and what Chris was saying, I think having uh, I think I say to her sometimes the importance of a library. I think the importance of having when I say library, not a physical one, but like having in your brain a lot of music, a lot of movies, a lot of everything that you see, something like, even if is a clothing or is a photograph or anything, when you need it, that will be helpful to have. So yeah, I think it's kind of like, I don't know if it's a good answer, because it's kind of like a general answer, but yeah, I think
Something that really helps me is to write. I write before I draw something. So especially with music, it really helps me when we have the lyrics. I read and read and read the lyrics. But even if I don't have, I just listen to the music and I try to write the words that this thing is making me feel, or make what it makes me remind. So, but I think I know it depends about who you are. I think it happens to me because I started art writing, so maybe that's because of
no,
it.
yeah, I think that's maybe a better answer. I think that it's a good exercise that you can do is, let's say, tell me a word, tell me something like summer, let's say summer. So we have a music about summer. Then you can, like, take a piece of paper and a pen, and you start to write summer things, summery relatable things. Like, you can put a beach ball, you can put what else,
Sea, blue,
drink,
flower.
sea stuff, yeah, and you start, like, to plant elements, and then you have a bunch of things related to summer there. And then you now I'm gonna go a little more deep in that. I'm going to take out the more generic stuff, and I'm going to go deep. What I feel in the summer, the heat, the humidity, the noises, the
Smells.
the smells, the color. I'm going to go deep. And then I think that's a good exercise that you can do with almost anything when you want, when you need, to have an experience and you're not finding. I think you can do that. I like to do that, kind of like a list, like Chris was saying, write down some topics around that. And then you think about yourself. What do you feel in the beach? And maybe you had a memory in the beach, something that happened with you in the beach that you could use on that. I think that that's a good exercise, to go and try to uh how do you say, scavando,
Yeah, to make like your own creative process.
to go to dig, dig for inspiration. Yeah.
I don't know if it helped.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Christiana mentioned some books which you refer to. Can you share? It's not right now, maybe later. The list. Sure.
Some books that I like. Some.
Yeah, you refer it during your work.
Okay.
Planeta Tangerina, né?
Yeah, I always mention, how do I say, editor?
A book, a publisher.
Yeah, a book, a Portuguese book publisher, and I like all the books. It's an illustration Portuguese publisher. It calls Planeta Tangerina.
Yeah, we have
some books from
their
the
collection. Yeah, so they are mostly child's books.
Yeah, mostly it's child with a deep connection, I guess.
Yeah, they do a lot of collage, and we use a lot of color references too.
Yeah, I really like this one because it explains what is love for children. I know it's very maybe cliche, but I love the way it's illustrated.
I always look at them and I want to do animations and stories on using their characters. So yeah, these are a good, something that we use as a reference.
And also the name of this one is Metade Metade. It means half and half.
Yeah, half that, half that.
Great, thanks a lot. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's we hope that it was helpful, and that we explain it, how our process work, and that you guys could use that knowledge in any way.
Cool. Nastya also wrote, thank you for presentation. You do an amazing, incredible job. Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Nastya, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, thanks a lot. We wish you a nice day and greetings from Kyiv, and hope to see you soon. And thank you for inspiration.
Thanks. And again, feel free to reach out to us, to send an email or talk with us on Instagram. And yeah, thanks everybody to being here.
Yeah,
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening. Bye.
Have a good evening.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.